Hello, and welcome back to How to Speak Fluent English, your place to listen, practice, repeat, and master English with confidence and ease. I'm Maura, and I'm delighted you've joined me today. In this podcast, I speak at a gentle pace, I choose simple and clear vocabulary, and I explain concepts multiple times so you can follow along with my voice, practice your pronunciation, and strengthen your speaking skills one step at a time. Today, we're going to explore how to share your daily experiences in English, not with basic phrases, but with complete, meaningful expressions. How do you start your mornings? What fills your afternoon hours? How do you wind down in the evening? By the time we finish today's lesson, you'll feel comfortable describing your entire day in English using natural and flowing sentences. Let's dive in. What makes practicing daily routine descriptions so valuable for English learners? The answer is simple. Your daily life is authentic. It's your personal experience that unfolds every single day. You understand it completely. You don't have to struggle to find topics or create stories. You don't need to discuss complex subjects like technology, literature, or current events. You simply need to share your personal experiences. You can describe when you open your eyes each morning, what you choose for your first meal. You can explain whether you head to the office or work from your home. You can express your emotions, whether you feel energetic, overwhelmed, content, or peaceful. And here's what makes this approach so powerful. When you talk about your personal routine, you're using practical English. Everyday English, English that connects you with others in genuine conversations. Perfection isn't the goal, progress is what matters. When you describe your daily experiences, you start forming thoughts directly in English. You begin speaking with greater ease. You create full, meaningful sentences. You reduce the habit of mental translation, and you develop genuine confidence in your speaking abilities. Let's explore a real scenario. Picture yourself at a community event, and a friendly neighbor approaches you asking, "How was your day?" If you've been practicing describing your daily activities beforehand, you'll feel prepared to respond naturally. You might share, "I started my morning at 6:30, I took the bus downtown. I grabbed a latte and checked my messages. Later this afternoon, I prepared lunch and caught up on my favorite show." This represents genuine dialogue, authentic interaction, and that's exactly what we're working toward. Whether you're practicing at home, whether you're not enrolled in a formal language program, whether you feel nervous about speaking, you can still develop your English skills by describing your personal routine. So when you find yourself unsure of what to practice, begin with familiar topics. How did I spend my day? When did I get out of bed? What meals did I enjoy? Which places did I visit? How did I spend my afternoon hours? These questions serve as excellent starting points. They help you recall useful vocabulary. They support the development of consistent English practice habits. They encourage you to form complete thoughts without pressure. Flexible practice schedule. You can try this approach in the morning to reflect on yesterday's activities. You can use this method in the afternoon to process today's experiences. You might even record your voice and play it back to hear your progress. The secret is maintaining simplicity, applying the English vocabulary you already possess, avoiding worry about imperfections, and simply expressing yourself. With consistent practice, speaking becomes increasingly natural. 1 complete sentence today, 2 flowing sentences tomorrow, an entire narrative by next week. So right now, let's develop this ability together, gradually and steadily, phrase by phrase, 1 authentic sentence at a time. The morning routine. All right, let's begin with the start of each day, your morning hours. The morning period plays a crucial role in shaping your entire day. It influences your mindset, it provides you with vitality, And it offers an excellent opportunity to practice and process thoughts in English, even if just for a short while. Now, let's work through some straightforward morning expressions together. Echo each sentence at a relaxed pace, just like our shadowing technique. Here we go. Morning routine sentences for shadowing practice. I typically get up around 6:45. Occasionally, I rise earlier, about 6:15, when my schedule is packed. When I go to bed late, I feel groggy the following morning. I remain under the covers for several moments and plan my upcoming activities. I enjoy taking a slow breath and extending my shoulders and back. Next, I gradually sit upright and step onto the floor. I head to the washroom and clean my teeth. I brush gently and thoroughly for about 2 minutes. Afterward, I rinse my face with cool water. It makes me feel refreshed. Occasionally, I take a brief shower, particularly when I feel drowsy. During my shower, I enjoy playing gentle melodies or listening to English podcasts. Following my shower, I towel off and select my outfit. I aim to choose something fresh and relaxed. Often, I pick casual pants and a sweater. When I have an important call or presentation, I choose something more professional. Then, I head to the kitchen area and organize my morning meal. I typically have something basic like bread, scrambled eggs, and berries. Sometimes I enjoy granola with yogurt and sliced apple. When I have extra time, I prepare pancakes or warm porridge. I prefer to eat at a relaxed pace so I can savor each bite. I have tea most mornings. Sometimes I drink herbal tea because it tastes gentle and calming. While having breakfast, I occasionally watch a brief tutorial or browse headlines. Other mornings, I simply appreciate the silence and hear the wind outside. Before I exit my home, I glance at my device. I verify the time and review my notifications. I examine my schedule to confirm any calls or commitments. I organize my backpack with all essentials: my device, journal, house keys, and travel mug. Finally, I slip on my sneakers and step outside.
All right, let's practice shadowing a narrative, my daily morning experience. In this section, I'll share a brief story about how I begin each day. You can listen carefully, then echo each sentence. Feel free to pause between each line to repeat it at your own pace. Are you prepared? Let's start. Morning routine story for shadowing. In the early hours, I generally rise around 6:30. Occasionally, I get up sooner when my agenda is particularly busy. I stay under my blanket for several moments and consider my upcoming plans. I extend my legs, take a deep breath, and carefully stand up. Next, I move to the washroom and clean my teeth for a complete 2 minutes. Following that, I splash my face with fresh water. It truly helps me become alert. When I feel drowsy, I enjoy a hot shower. I frequently play soft instrumental music during my shower. It helps me feel more relaxed and centered. After showering, I select fresh clothing and examine my appearance in the glass. Then I enter the kitchen area and begin preparing my morning meal. I typically have 2 slices of whole grain bread with honey and peanut butter, and occasionally I include some Greek yogurt. I sip a medium-sized mug of green tea that's absolutely essential for my morning routine. While having breakfast, I position myself near the balcony door and observe the neighborhood. Sometimes I notice children playing, and I appreciate these cheerful moments. Before departing my apartment, I review my mobile device. I confirm the time, my task list, and my appointments for today. Then I organize my messenger bag. I verify I have all necessities, my device, my identification, my planner, and occasionally some trail mix. At last, I wear my cardigan and boots, unlock the entrance, and walk outside to start my adventures. Final practice sentences. Now let's practice a few closing sentences together. Once again, you can repeat directly after me. Each morning brings small variations, but I aim to maintain a healthy pattern. When I begin my day practicing English, I feel more confident and energized. I'm grateful for my improvement, and I will continue moving forward. Part 3. The midday hours. Now let's transition to the midday period, the central portion of our day. Most individuals find themselves quite active during these hours. Some people attend their workplace, others participate in classes, while many remain at home managing household tasks or caring for relatives. Regardless of your activities, the midday offers an excellent opportunity to engage with English. Even during hectic periods, you can still listen actively, you can still echo what you hear, you can still develop your skills, even if only for 5 or 10 minutes. Let's explore some typical expressions together. Try to echo my words slowly and with clarity. Midday routine sentences for practice. Following my midday meal, I return to my workspace. Occasionally, I experience some drowsiness after eating. I review my inbox and respond to the urgent messages first. I frequently read communications from colleagues or study partners. I typically participate in 1 or 2 video calls during these hours. Sometimes I connect with a customer or supervisor to discuss ongoing projects. When I work remotely, I settle at my workspace and power up my computer. I draft documents or create slide presentations. I also examine my planner to determine my next priorities. I prefer to maintain my workspace tidy and systematic. It supports clear thinking. I generally pause for a brief rest around 2:30. I prepare a mug of herbal tea or have some sparkling water. Sometimes I enjoy a light snack like nuts or crackers. When possible, I take a brief stroll to breathe some outdoor air. Even 10 minutes in nature helps me feel refreshed. During pleasant weather, I walk through the nearby park or relax on a bench. When I have spare moments in the midday, I practice English. Sometimes I listen to educational content while taking my walk. Other times I browse a brief article or short story digitally. I also view gradual English tutorials to improve my comprehension. I vocalized brief expressions aloud to develop my pronunciation. Shadowing techniques help me communicate more smoothly and accurately. Before concluding my work session, I document my accomplishments. This keeps me structured and prepared for tomorrow. Sometimes I record
one fresh vocabulary word I discovered today. I enjoy reviewing my English journal before ending my productive time.
Midday story foreshadowing. I'll now share a narrative about my midday experience. You can listen carefully, pause when needed, and repeat after me. Try to match my pace and intonation. This represents an excellent shadowing and learning method. Following my midday meal, I typically return to my home office to resume my tasks. I scan my messages and create a priority list for the remaining hours. I frequently join an online conference with my project team. We discuss our morning achievements and plan our next steps. These conferences typically last around 45 minutes. Following the conference, I enjoy a brief intermission. I move to the kitchen area and brew some chamomile tea or prepare iced coffee. I sip leisurely while standing beside the glass door. Sometimes I venture onto my balcony for some natural air. During available moments, I dedicate time to English development. I typically listen to educational podcasts similar to this one, or explore brief narratives. Sometimes I view tutorials where the instructor speaks at a measured pace. I stop the content and echo the phrases. This represents shadowing. It supports more natural communication and better comprehension. Before finishing my productive day, I create a brief overview of my activities. I also compose one English sentence describing my current mood. For instance, I completed my presentation today and I feel accomplished. I struggled with focus today, but I'll approach tomorrow with renewed energy. This practice encourages self-reflection and maintains my motivation. Interactive practice section. Now it's your opportunity. You can pause this session momentarily. Try describing your midday routine, similar to my example. What activities typically fill your post-lunch hours? Do you report to an office? Do you attend educational sessions? Do you remain home for rest or learning? Use simple expressions. It's perfectly acceptable if you share just 3 or 4 thoughts. The objective is communication, not perfection. Let's practice some sentence beginnings together to support your speaking. I'll provide the opening phrases and you can try completing them. During the midday, I typically Excellent work. After my lunch, I prefer to Great effort. Sometimes I experience Well accomplished.
I generally rest around. Outstanding! Before the midday concludes, I. Excellent progress. The evening and nighttime routine. Evening and nighttime hours. Now, the twilight and nighttime period. Evening represents a meaningful time, a moment to unwind and reflect on your experiences. Let's practice some helpful expressions together. Evening routine sentences for practice. I arrive at my apartment around 5:30 in the evening. I remove my jacket and settle into my favorite chair for several minutes to decompress. I occasionally browse social media or play soft instrumental music to unwind. I prepare my evening meal, or I pick up takeout when I feel exhausted. I enjoy dinner at my dining area with my roommates. We discuss our experiences and exchange interesting moments. Following dinner, I tidy the cooking space and clean the utensils. Sometimes I take a leisurely stroll through my neighborhood after eating. Before sleeping, I browse magazines or listen to peaceful sounds. I enjoy a warm bath and clean my teeth. I retire to bed around 10 or 10:45. Personal reflection challenge. Excellent. You've just experienced my complete daily schedule. Now, I encourage you to describe your own day. Here's your approach. Begin by considering your experiences. When do you typically rise? What do you choose for your morning meal? Do you attend work, participate in studies, or manage household responsibilities? How do you spend your midday hours? What characterizes your evening routine? What activities do you complete before resting? You can describe today's events, or you can share details about a regular day, your standard routine. Outstanding effort today. You experienced a complete daily narrative, you practiced fresh vocabulary, you repeated complete expressions, and most importantly, you attempted to communicate in English. This represents genuine advancement. You are not simply learning English, you are applying English. You are experiencing English, one expression at a time. Continue developing your confidence. Continue practicing your daily descriptions until they feel natural. Return to this session frequently, listen repeatedly, shadow consistently, and each time, expand your personal narrative. This is how to speak fluent English. I'm Amora, and I'm impressed by your dedication. Keep listening actively, keep speaking boldly, and keep trusting in your abilities. Until next time.